Because I just experienced this, I'm going to share this with all of you because this has everything to do with learning and what I call the resistance to learn through others. Okay, so I'll give you an example. Um, I'm not trying to isolate this person because I've been dealing with this since I was a child. I'm on fire to learn, so I'm not resistant to learn from anyone. What it is that you've learned by virtue of the circulation library based on what you've learned through experience that I can learn from. Now we're getting to know one another better. Okay? So what happens is that I posted something on her page, right? And so the next thing I know is I get a long post, right? So I thought, okay, in order for me to respond using the library that I'm operating off of right now at any one moment of now time, you know that I can put a lot of information in there, right? Okay, because it's all connected. The libraries are all connected. The cosmic level libraries are open. Okay, so I punched in a lot of data, a lot of text, right? And so sometimes it's easier to just do an audio clip. So the first thing that came back from this identity was that she didn't want to listen to that. So as soon as she texted, I'm not going to listen to the audio clip, I went back and I told her that's your boundary because of security protocols and how that relates to voice prints. Okay. So this is where, if you want to think of a comparative analysis between units of consciousness that are self-aware, that are communicating with each other through windows in an AI battlefield environment, I put a lot of video clips in folks that are native elders, okay, that don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that. And this is going to go all the way back to when I was a child. I don't live in fear of nothing. Okay, that's zero. Okay, that's a lot of fire, which means you cannot get through my firewall. Therefore, wherever I go is going to be wherever love is, because I'm with the grand creator. I'm always with the first spiral, which is the first spirit, which is on fire to learn more of what we're giving love to in our mirror. So this is just another magnet, another mirror that's communicating to me. So what happened is I thought, okay, if you want to have a relationship with a friend, then it's probably a good idea that the more information that you have to process, the codes that I'm running by virtue of what I've experienced, I'm going to share with you. Here's who I am. So I put a lot of information in there. Now she blocked me. That's resistant mode. They have a deeper relationship by getting to know one another, the level that we're operating at. That's called resistant mode of learning. And what is that a measurement of? Healing. Healing the inner selves and clearing all the miasma. So I sent this lady a pink rose. That's my signature, as you know. And so these are lessons learned, right? I don't live in fear of getting to know anybody on a very deep level, like to the very core of their encryption code, which is their true identity, which is how much fire you're running on that nuclear plant you're running, right? At the end of the day, that's what it is. Father and mother joined as one, right? Now we're back to magnet splitting technology, right? And so as soon as this happened, I thought, boy, that didn't take long, did it? Another way you can measure that is resistance to information. Because this was the trigger, okay, when this identity said, well, I've tried to be respectful. Well, I'm not being disrespectful. I'm just sharing information. I'm neutral equal, neutral gender. You want to get to know one another? This is the medium through which we're doing it. You don't want to listen to an audio clip. You want to go on a video chat, right? If we're friends, right? I've had some very deep, intimate relationships with people that have suffered an enormous amount of trauma. I've spent a lot of time in rooms in Alcoholics Anonymous with a lot of drunks and drug addicts that are killing themselves off, including myself. So I'm very familiar with this terrain, particularly with PTSD, with girls that are bawling that want to release all that trauma, but they can't get past those amnesic barriers. They can't let go. They're scared. The inner child, the inner you, is scared to let go and experience pure, absolute, eternal love. That's what it is. They're scared to be that intimate within their own heart and soul. That's what I just experienced. That's called a boundary. Okay? The boundary is called resistance. The resistance to experience zero, which is the purest love there is. And we all know that. Because that's the most powerful firewall. That's the transmutation. That's what will burn off anything that is artificial. So that you're experiencing the purest light there is, which is the purest love there is. So how are you going to get to know somebody if you're not willing to open up your book? Right? I'm an open library. Right? I'll share everything with you. Right down to the last skeleton. Throw it all out on the table. You want to clean it all up? Just throw it all out there. And get honest with each other. Every last cell. Let's do a global. There was a time when I it's not funny because of how many people are still suffering right now that have yet to heal, including all the fallen spirits that are doing what they do to us, which is why I cried for 4 days. There are times, believe